All right. Well, we will go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today for this introduction to Equity Angels and our Catalyst program. I'm Kenya Burrell Van Wormer, co-founder of Equity Angels. And as a real estate enthusiast who believes in people first, I'm optimistic about the future of real estate and prop tech. Our focus today is very straightforward. It's to provide you with information, resources, and industry experience from our team. We want to equip you to drive innovation, unite talents, build ethical and sustainable ventures, and accelerate growth. At Equity Angels, we focus on critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and most importantly, community. By embracing those 5 C's, we solve problems creatively, disrupt markets, pitch transformative ideas, and inspire action. So let's get started. We're going to start with an introduction to my co-founder and partner in crime, Kat Winston. Take it away.
Thank you, Kenya. It's great to see some familiar names. I also see some new folks in the audience. Thank you so much for joining us for our first ever Equity Angels webinar. I'm Kat Winston. I'm the co-founder of Equity Angels. Many of you also know me as Plunk's head of marketing. I've been helping to build and grow startups for 25 years, as Ruel would call it, since the 1900s. My first startup failed, 2 were acquired, and 1 went public. I also built my own business. I produced conferences around the world for over a decade to bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and investors in film, media, green tech, and the aviation sectors. Real estate has always been a huge part of my life as well. Beyond my work at Plunk, I've been married to a luxury agent for 20 years. My husband and I teamed up to build his real estate business, and he now has offices with Sotheby's in both Beverly Hills and Bellevue, where we live with our boys. But beyond my love and obsession for my family and tech, what I'm most passionate about is being an advocate for underrepresented voices. Professionally and personally, I've dedicated most of my life to helping underrepresented executives and founders through mentorship, work opportunities, community building, and educational programs. And that's actually how Kenya and I met. 3 years ago, we were invited to speak on a panel together at NAR's IOI Summit by Dan Wiseman. Shout out, Dan. I know you're in the audience. To discuss the power of diversity within the prop tech space. We also shared the stage with Jesse Garcia, who you see here, and you'll get to know more in a bit, and Jeff Turner, who many of you are familiar with. He's also one of Equity Angels' program mentors. We were so fired up after that first panel together and did our best to make impact through presentations and panel discussions. But after some time, the data we were presenting started to feel repetitive. We kept showing the same data because nothing was changing, especially as it relates to disparity across gender and race. So I'm going to start sharing some slides here, just so you can get a sense of the kind of slides that Kenya and I were sharing at these presentations. Can y'all see that? So as you can see here, it's great that 62% of all realtors are female, but even NAR admitted that since 1978, women have comprised the majority of realtors. But while there are many women in the industry, they are less represented in executive roles. Changing leadership demographics will require a commitment to developing and promoting female talent at all levels. And so really that's what we're doing here at Equity Angels. We are making a commitment to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion at a few different levels. And we're talking about gender, race, age, and experience. And let me repeat that: gender, race, age, and experience. I want to emphasize that this is not a woke movement. None of us in this room were sleeping. For us, this is about creating innovation and opportunity through diversity. And so here are just a few of the ways we plan on doing that. Through accelerator programs, executive placement, and resources for growth. This to us are our 3 pillars. We want to help underrepresented founders gain access to capital, community, and growth. And today we're going to talk about a couple of those things. You're going to learn more about our executive placement and our accelerator programs. But prior to doing all that, First, we'd love for you to meet the rest of the team.
Thanks, Kat. We would like for you to meet our team. We're proud of the advisors that we have on board, which is really a true reflection of what the industry represents, what innovation represents, and more importantly, community. So we're going to introduce our team, starting with Jesse, Ruel, and Rose. Jesse?
Hey everyone, thank you very much for participating. My name is Jesse Garcia. I'm a strategy advisor here at Equity Angels, and I come with 18 years of experience in the real estate space, and combined with 10 years in the prop tech, fintech space, building a few different applications for our industry. And one of the most recent exited about a year and a half ago. And so I'm really excited to help all of you learn from a lot of very expensive failures and mistakes that I have made along the way, and hoping that we can help you grow and scale and save you a lot of time and money through that journey and that process, because we all know it's not easy, and it's a challenging endeavor, and that's why we're here to help you. So we're here to bring our experience to help you hopefully expedite that journey and know that you have a team of experts around you. So thank you for the opportunity.
Hey everybody, Ruel Macrig here. I'm a technology advisor here at Equity Angels. I've been in technology for over 20 years now, mostly in the financial services space. I've had the opportunity to work with Fortune 100 companies, medium-sized companies, and startups. And for me, I'm really excited to be here. I mean, I think there is a clear need for improving diversity in venture capital. And you're going to see that in a lot of the slides that we're going to talk through and just highlight. But I'm really blessed and honored to be part of this group, and we're really excited, to roll out this program. So thanks for coming aboard and listening to us.
Hi, I'm Rose Redondo Graves, and I am a talent advisor here at Equity Angels. I have over 15 years of experience in DE&I work within hiring and process improvement, as well as within startups, creating new teams and building them up from scratch, focusing, really, really deeply on equity and inclusion. I really believe strongly in the right type of engagement, but also, creating paths for people. So I'm very excited to be part of this program, and hoping that you all will see the value in what I see as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rose. And last but not least, one of our advisors, Lori Benner, was not able to join us today. But if you know Lori, you know that she is a staunch advocate for equity. She is involved with the National Fair Housing Alliance, and we are honored to have her on board as a policy advisor for us. So please welcome Lori as well. With that, we're just going to jump right into it. Rose, if you'd like to get us started with the importance of our mission and sharing some details about what we're doing to change the perspective in this industry.
Our mission matters because we are addressing both facets of equity, social equity and economic equity, to help entrepreneurs, investors, and organizations build diverse, inclusive, and financially viable futures so that our industry as a whole can thrive together. An inclusive and innovative mindset is the key to delivering on our promise. It's not about just helping one gender or one race. It's about reshaping the tech ecosystem into one where creativity and innovation can thrive equally across cultures, genders, and age. Stimulating a multi-trillion-dollar economy. There's enough research and data telling us there's a significant funding disparity among Black, Latino, Asian, and women founders as compared to their counterparts, reflecting challenges in achieving diversity, equity, and inclusion in investment allocations. We also recognize the diverse range of underrepresented groups spanning gender, economic background, race, religion, sexual orientation, neurodiversity, and physical abilities. Our goal is to address the substantial venture capital funding gap that exists between founders from traditionally well-represented groups and those from marginalized groups. Exploring the reasons why founders from underrepresented backgrounds possess a distinctive advantage for enduring success in the market reveals a really compelling narrative. Entrepreneurs like Thru Shivakumar, CEO and founder of Cohesion, or Diego Llano, Santiago Morales, and Inez Gamoa, founders of Mexican prop tech Morado Uno, are great examples of entrepreneurs stemming from diverse and marginalized communities who bring unique perspectives to the business landscape and have a profound understanding of the unmet needs within their own social spheres. This intrinsic connection enables them to develop companies that are not only addressing immediate challenges, but also contribute to the sustained growth and resilience of their ventures in the broader market. The combination of their authentic insights and deep-seated commitment to resolving real-world issues positions underrepresented founders on a path forward toward long-term viability and impact in the business arena. Underrepresented founders of startups receive less funding at exit compared to founders from traditionally advantaged backgrounds. Research indicates that it is primarily due to the lack of access to networks. Founders from underrepresented backgrounds often face challenges accessing inclusive networks, limiting their opportunities to connect with investors who are well acquainted with their businesses and willing to embrace the diversity and potential that they do bring. Encouragingly, the younger generation of consumers is increasingly supporting businesses that exemplify values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Research shows that work teams characterized by greater diversity consistently outperformed their homogeneous counterparts 87% of the time. This highlights a clear connection between addressing social issues and the positive impact of DEI efforts on business performance. I am really excited to announce that Equity Angels is launching the Fractional Executive Program, offering startup teams the opportunity to engage with a diverse group of seasoned C-suite executives on a part-time basis at more sustainable rates. Startups often face financial constraints, lacking substantial cash reserves. The fractional program, however, provides a solution by granting access to the necessary expertise precisely when it is needed, without the burden of prolonged financial commitments. Our hands-on executive recruiting business partners have experience working with private, public, and pre-IPO companies. Executive placement spans the entire C-suite: CEO, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, CHRO, CMO, and including Vice President, Sales and Marketing, and other director level roles. With a consultative approach, we'll create a 360 DE&I hiring strategy that aligns with company leadership principles. Jesse?
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. So this is one thing I love talking about, and coming from a lot of experience in raising capital for my most recent exited tech company, it's not easy, right? And if y'all are listening and have tried to raise capital, it is something that takes time, patience, and you have to have everything about you and your business very polished, very dialed. And as you all know, one of the key components of scaling your business is access to capital. And as you can see here, access to VC funding has dramatically declined by more than 60% in 2 short years. So how does this affect you and your growth? There are going to be more startups like you, and they're all fighting for their fair share of less than 60% of capital that is now available. Meaning, again, your business has to be polished. You have to be very well versed in where you're at, where you're going, how to easily relay that information to investors that are interested in what you have. Most of them are not going to know you exist. Most of them are not going to know what you do or what your value is. You have to be able to get their attention and wow them in a very short period of time. And so when you start to see other startups like yourself, many of them have great ideas. It all comes down to execution. You have to have a very well thought out plan of action to really gain access to this funding. Because you see, that's over what, about $400 billion that is left in the market right now for you to access. Now, we need to be able to help you get access to that funding, which is what we are going to be helping you do to make sure your business is well-rounded. Again, everybody that is in the startup space, access to these funds is not easy. So we need to help you fight for your fair share to get this funding and make sure that you're well set up to get that so you can grow and scale. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Next slide, Kat, please. So what are the benefits of an accelerator? Okay, you know, starting a company, if this is your first one or if this is your third one, doesn't matter. It's never an easy road. Okay, there's always bumps, there's always bruises, there's blood, sweat, and tears. And wouldn't it be a little bit nicer to do it with people that have been where you have been multiple times, right? Like I said jokingly when I introduced myself, I'm here, we are all here to help you learn from our mistakes, save you a lot of money. So I'm sure combined with all of us, we have over $1 million of mistakes that we have come across. We are probably more than that, right, Kat? So we are here to help you grow, scale, and learn from what we have done. So that way you're not making the same mistakes. Now you're going to make your own set of mistakes. We're here to make sure they're not as bad or as expensive as they could be. So when you start to really look at Equity Angels as what can we do for you and how can we help you? When you look at an accelerator in general, more than 50% of the founders who finish an accelerator program go on to raise funding, go on to raise capital. Okay. Being a part of an accelerator really helps your probability of being able to grow, to scale, to exit, if that is your goal. Okay. People that have finished an accelerator program have a higher survival rate. We all have heard the stories. How many startups within their first year fail? Does anybody on this call want to be one of those startups that fail within the first 3 years, 4 years? No, you're probably putting in your personal funds, your savings, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You have your family, your friends supporting you. What is the best way that you have the highest probability to make sure that your company succeeds? By surrounding yourself with people that have been where you are and have done what you want to do. That is the best and fastest way to success, because success leaves clues. And now when you partner with Equity Angels, you're surrounding yourself with people that have really trailblazed and set a roadmap on how to do that. Okay, next slide, please, Kat. So what is the advantage? So when you start to look at just even the 5 people that are on this call, and it is a diverse group of people that have done many different things in the industry, right? We're not all specialized in a singular focus. We're not all experts in one particular area. You have a broad range of experts that can help you in so many different matters of running and scaling a business. Okay. On top of that, you know that it's all about the network. When you start to really grow a business, it's who you're surrounding yourself with and who are they connected to? Who are they connected to? That was one of the hardest things for me when I was growing my company, was how do I get into that room? How do I get into that room? How do I get in front of that person? It's all about who you know and who you're connected with. And if you can get more and more people part of your network, that you can get excited about what you're doing and they can start sharing your story and getting other people excited about it. That's what truly matters when you're trying to grow and scale a business. Is you want other people that are big fans of you and what you're building, so they can make introductions to people that are going to help you then compound the success of your business. So what we're doing here at Equity Angels is really giving you a platform and a network to plug into. And we want you to help us create bigger and bigger fans of what you're setting out to do, so your network can grow. You have more access to capital. You have more access to fractional C-suite executives. We want to take you from where you're at today to a completely different level in a short period of time and set a strong foundation and framework for what you want to achieve in your startup. Okay. On top of that is getting you in front of other influencers within this industry in the prop tech, fintech spaces, and getting you on stage and in front of other experts outside of the 5 or 6 people that are part of Equity Angels already. So again, look at it as you are getting a seat at the table with a bunch of experts and a network of other investors and other experts in the space that will absolutely help you grow and scale your businesses. Again, if this is your first or your third or fifth company, there's always more things to learn, and that's what we're here to help you with. So Ruel, I'll change it over to you, and I'll let you take it from here.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. I really love what Jesse just said. I mean, it's really being part of a larger group. You need help, and I think what you're going to find with the Equity Angels team is a lot of help, a lot of experience, a lot of value. So I'm really excited to share with you our program. We've got an exciting program lined up with our accelerator. And what you can see here is we've got themes laid out every month leading up to our highlight, which is the Blueprint Conference in Las Vegas. And what our plan is to focus is on some themes for each month. So Jesse alluded to it earlier. One is foundation. What that means is a meet and greet across all the startups, understanding the accelerator ecosystem, and doing a bit of a deep dive, into each of your businesses. Next is why. What's your mission and vision and definition of that? How do you articulate problem solution fit, and really getting to understanding your customer pain points? Jesse said earlier that the competition for capital and investment is really competitive. There's not much funding out there, so we really want to help you craft and sharpen your why. Market analysis is another area to get into, understanding your pain points, breaking down your addressable market, and really targeting things like pricing and how you're going to go about going out with your business. Strategy is going to be key. When we look at strategy for businesses, it's really understanding your competition, but it's also understanding some potential partnerships and alliances that you might make along the way. There's ways to scale your business through alliances, and there's ways to enter into new markets with alliances. So strategy is an important facet of looking over as one of the themes. And lastly, is financials. What are your financial forecasts? What key metrics are you looking to focus on? And when you develop that funding strategy, understanding the financial mechanics that you're putting together to justify, the investment that you're asking for. And like I said, it's really prepping you for our highlight, which is in September, the Blueprint Conference in Las Vegas. You're going to have the opportunity to be on stage and really showcase yourself with one of the largest networks in prop tech. So we're really excited to be partnering, with the Blueprint Conference, in September. If you can go to the next slide. So expectations and time investment. We really wanted to focus on making it efficient across mentors, investors, and founders. And our plan is really to just take 1 hour a week. And week one, we want to kick it off with a webinar and panel discussion on that focused theme. And what you'll get out of that is a diverse and rich set of mentors that are going to share their experience. Like Jesse said, there's a lot to learn from our failures. There's a lot to learn from our achievements. And I think it'll be a great opportunity to learn from a rich webinar panel of mentors. Week two will allow you to connect one-on-one with these mentors, get feedback from them, and get their guidance. And we think that's really important, to get that connection and get as much exposure to different mentors. Week three, we want to get into rapid fire pitches. It's your opportunity to practice in front of investors, meet with another group of investors, and really start to get feedback on how you can continue to fine tune and craft your business vision, your plan, and really acquire and maximize that investment that you're looking for. And then week four is to get that feedback, go through a bit of a retrospective, learn from these investors to get some more feedback on, what is it that you could do differently? What are some markets that you haven't really thought of? And it's really important, to get that feedback from investors. So as you can see, the expectation that we have and the time commitment is really efficient. We want to make sure that we use everybody's time, wisely from month to month. Next slide, please. So wrapping up, it's really great that we put this program together. You've seen key aspects of it. You're going to get mentorship. You're going to get insight from industry experts. And what's great about what we're doing, we're going to tailor that advice and guidance with the panelists that we choose and get you connected with. You're going to get workshops that we talked about in the different themes, and you're going to have access to some top industry events, culminating with Blueprint in Las Vegas. So I hope you're as excited as we are to go through this program together. We're excited to share, the network. We're excited to learn together and help you grow and help you get access to that capital. So let me turn that over to Kat to talk about our application process.
Thanks so much, Ruel. Thank you, Rose and Jesse. So yeah, I mean, applying is pretty easy. You just apply on equity-angels.com, catalyst-program. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. We also have extended the deadline. Originally, the deadline was today, so you have a couple more weeks. We are considering applications from startups with at least one MVP and has raised no more than an initial seed round. Basically, everything from family and friends all the way up to pre-Series A is what we're hoping to support. Company must be registered as a U.S. entity, and at least one founder must be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. And startups will receive notifications regarding acceptance by March 22nd. Additionally, I'm sure some of you are going to have this question, is how much does this cost? And for us, we don't want to charge anybody for applying to this program. So applying is free. And like I said, only takes 10 minutes. Once you are selected into the program, there are some costs involved. So all accepted participants will be responsible for paying for their own airfare, hotel, transportation, and incidentals for the in-person optional and mandatory events. So that's the IOI Summit optional event and the Blueprint mandatory event. But for both conferences, we will have comp passes for one founder per company, and any additional conference passes will be available at discounted rates. Hopefully that'll help with some of your budgets, at least a little bit.